A very good morning to all of you. I hope all of you are doing great. So it's the second day of our class. I just want to know how many really new students are there in the class. Okay, so here in the offline, it is like this. Online students, anybody, any of your new students, and one more important thing, let me make this clear to online students. See, whenever I'm speaking with you, the camera is right here in front of me. But whatever the chat you are going to put, your messages, I get it displayed on the monitor screen, and that monitor is present here right next to me. That is why whenever I'll be asking you something, for your response, I'll be going near the monitor and I'll be referring through your answers. So don't think like, where did she disappear? Okay, that is not the case. So I would be really going there to watch your messages and reply for it. Okay, so yes, my question is, how many new students are there in online? May I know, even before I start with the class? Please put your messages in the chat. Sheetal, you want me to share the QR code again? I'll do it, Sheetal. Just give me some time. I'll share it. Okay. Any of the online students? New online students in the class? Okay, so it's all everybody who are present, who were present yesterday. I'll assume it like that. Okay. Well, so let's start with the class today. Dear students, what was our discussion in yesterday's session? We just had a very simple discussion. I'll just give you a small brief of what really we discussed in yesterday's class. We started our discussion regarding the interview process, because what really happens in the interview process, we have to be aware of it. So the rounds, interview rounds is what we initially discussed. There are 5 rounds of interviews, and how you have to be clearing each of the interviews, how we are going to be with you in this, all that I explained first. 5 rounds of interview process we discussed, after which we discussed about the computers. We discussed about what? We discussed about computers. Dear students, maybe there are few interesting facts that I want to discuss with you even before I start with a very new topic. Okay. Whenever I say computer, whenever I ask you computer, how really a computer looks like, what comes into your mind? I want your answers. If I ask you how really a computer looks like, yes? How does it look? Desktop, laptop, yes, very good. Is the mobile phone that you carry, every one of you are having the mobile phones, right? The smartphones, if I have to be very specific. Can I tell that is also a computer? What about online students? Can I say the mobile phones that we have, the smartphones that we have, can I say that is also a computer? See, one thing, yes, definitely the laptops that we are using, the computers, the desktop, CPU, keyboard, all this is a computer setup. Apart from that, whatever the mobile phones we use, do you all agree with me that even that is also a computer? Yes. Online students? Yes, very good. So now, do you think computers were really the same way as it is today when it was invented? I'll repeat my question. Today, it looks very compact. When I say compact, it is so handy. What do you mean by handy? You can carry in your hands easily. But do you think it was same even before? No, let me tell, no. The way computers were looking, the way they were appearing was totally different. If I tell, do you know how the old computers look like? You will definitely tell yes. Maybe I'm going to share a small image. As soon as you see this, maybe you'll tell, ah, yes, ma'am, I have seen this type of image. I mean, this type of computer. Maybe you wouldn't have seen it physically. Are you understanding? But it existed is what you know. After you go through this image, I have some more things to tell. Some interesting things to tell. Please wait for that. Okay. So let me just share the screen here with all of you. So I hope a blank screen is visible to all of you. Here also offline it is visible, right? This is enough, right? Okay. Dear students, if in case I talk about a computer, maybe you would be seeing this image. Can everybody relate this image? Online students, you have to put your messages in the chat box, please. Okay. Yes. Can all of you relate this? Online students? Yes, this is a computer which was really like to be in the olden days. Maybe some 15 years ago, if I tell 20 years ago, this is how computers were looking like. Yes, everyone? Yes. But let me tell you, computers were not of this size actually when they were invented initially. If I have to tell the size, the approximate size of computers during the very starting of the invention was almost more than 18,000 square feet. If I tell 18,000 square feet, if I have to relate it to the offline students, we are sitting in this classroom, right? It was 4 times bigger than this classroom. Are you understanding? If I have to tell it to the online students, if you could know if what really the size of 3040 site is. 3040 is nothing but it is 12,000 square feet. It is almost double or more than 1.5 the size of 3040 site. That much big the computers were. And also the weight of the computer. Today you can carry the weight. I mean that laptops in your hand, the desktops in your hand. But during those days, it was more than 25 tons. I hope you know what is the weight of 1 ton. So 25 tons, more than 25 tons. That much big the computers were. Maybe a very small image, I would be just having it here. Can you see this image? In this image, whatever this person is standing, he's surrounded. That entire thing is one computer. Are you able to see? It is just, again, it is not the very first computer. After that, the modified computers, this is. The entire room is one computer. Like this, the computers were in those days. Are you all getting it? But today, if I relate how the computers look like, it looks like this. It looks something like this. Yes, even this is also a computer. The mobile phone is also a computer. Not only that, even this tab is also a computer. Agree, everyone? Yes, today this is how it is, but that is not the case in those days. The computers were. Okay, so this is about the computers that we wanted to discuss. And now coming back to the classes. Okay, so coming back, this really is what happened with the computers in those days. Later, the size reduced. There were so many changes. The evolution happened with computers. And this is where we end up in the computers. We had a discussion regarding the computers. And then a very important discussion we had in yesterday's class. What was that? It is what computer can understand. Because we work with the computer. As a software engineers, we are going to work in the computer. That is why we should also know computers understand what really the language would understand. Please understand, dear students, if I want some work to be done, I have to communicate. I want to tell you something. Okay, this person do some of this work. Maybe Sheetal I'll tell Sheetal. Sheetal, you have to write this program. Now, how will she write that program? Until and unless I communicate with her. How will she know that I want her to write a program? Are you all able to understand? So I have to tell. Until and unless I tell her, she will not do that work. Now, in order to tell her, I need one language. Are you all understanding? If I want Sheetal to do some work, I need to communicate. In order to communicate, I need one language. Similarly, if computer should do some work, we need to communicate with the computer. If I have to communicate with the computer, I need one language. But not all the languages computer will understand. Again, not all the language Sheetal will understand. I have to tell in a language which she will understand. Are you understanding? Are you all able to understand? Similarly, the computers can understand only two things. That is 0 and 1. These are the only two things computer can understand. Now, it is our responsibility to instruct the computer in terms of zeros and ones. That style of language is machine level language. The machines can understand that language is machine level language, which is completely combination of zeros and ones. Initially, they were going with this machine level language of style of coding itself. But what later happened, they started to face the difficulty because everything in zeros and ones, full of that zeros and ones, no other numbers. Don't you think how much confusion it creates? Yes. So this was a problem. That is when they came up with assembly level language. And yeah, there they started to use some mnemonic style where instead of telling 0110, they were telling just add sub sub like this. Later again, what happened is they felt, okay, let us have some more updation. Let us make our work even more easier. And they came up with one more style of language, which happens to be high level language. Now, there was one more problem. What was that one more problem? I will tell you. Let us assume that there is one person here. One person we have. Let's say this person is A person. Person A. Now, here there is one more person. Let's say the name of this person happens to be B. All of you are getting it? We have two persons here. Now, what happens is they too want to become friends now. Both of them want to become friends. But let me tell you, A person is knowing only one language. Okay, this person A is knowing only one language. Let's say this person is knowing which language? Maybe Hindi. This person, A person, know to speak only Hindi language. But this B person, whatever, whomever is there, this person knows to speak only one language. Let's say this person knows to speak only one language, which is Marathi. Okay, let's say he knows to speak Marathi. Now, they both want to become friends. Okay, some important discussion is there. They want to become friends. Now, this person wants to communicate with this person. You only think, A person will tell in Hindi, I want to be your friend. In Hindi, he is telling. He or she is telling it in Hindi. But this person will not understand anything. B person will still be quiet. There is no response from B. Are you understanding? There is no response. Why there is no response? Because B is not able to understand the language in which A is talking. Yes? Again, if B also want to respond something, saying that at least to tell that I'm not understanding, this person will reply in Marathi. Again, this person is not able to understand anything. Don't you think there is a problem? Will the communication happen? Or whatever the work is there, will that happen? No. So what they thought is, now they were searching for one person. They were searching for what? They were searching for one more person. Now, who is this person? This person is the one. What this person will do is, this person is going to hear whatever this A person is going to tell. Translate all of that in the Marathi language to B person. Again, whatever this B person is going to tell in Marathi, this person will translate to A person in Hindi language. Now, with the help of this person, they are easily able to communicate. Are you understanding? The same thing happened with the computer as well. I told computer can understand what? Computer can understand only machine level language, which is only binary language, which is in terms of zeros and ones. Only this much it will understand. But if at all we try to write a code, if at all we are using a programming language, which is present in high level, where we have symbols, the sentences, English-like statements, definitely the machine cannot understand. That is when what happened? The softwares were invented. Which was that software? Which was that? Louder. The compiler. What is the work of the compiler? Compiler will take this high level code as input, translate it to machine level language. Like this, the softwares were invented. Similarly, one more software I explained yesterday, which was that? Very good. It was assembler. What was assembler doing? Assembler was taking the assembly level language as input and it was converting it to machine level language, which is zeros and ones. Is this clear to everyone? This is what we discussed in yesterday's class. Am I clear? So those who have missed yesterday's class, this is what we have discussed in yesterday's class. And don't worry, whatever you have missed, you can reach our team. Those who have missed yesterday's class, you will be getting the recording of that class. You can go through the recording. If you still have any doubts, you can ask me at any time. Is this clear? Everyone? Online students, am I clear with this? Great. So let's proceed ahead for today's class. I hope all of you are clear about this, what machines can understand, what is that level of language is said to be. So now whatever coding we write happens to be which type of language? Everyone? It's high level language. Yes? Okay. So what is our next discussion? Any idea what would be our next discussion? Yes? All of you had breakfast? Had breakfast? Online students, did you all eat? Yes or no? Great. See, you have to respond. Okay. I've told it in very first class, right? Let's have the two-way communication. It should not be one way. Only I am speaking. There's no response from your side. That really doesn't sound good, right? So let's keep it interactive. Please respond whenever I am asking for something. Okay. Let's proceed ahead for today's class. What are we going to discuss in today's class? A very important discussion again. This also happens to be. What is that is? If I'm asking you, like, you are here to learn one of the language. Which language is that? It is Java. Java full stack, which means the main language happens to be Java language. Yes, everyone. Now, the next question from my side to all of you is, do you think Java was the very first programming language that got invented? Everyone? Do you think Java was the only first language that got invented? No? Yes. So let me tell, no. Java is not the only programming language that is existing, and Java is not the very first programming language that was invented. Before Java, there are so many programming languages. After Java also, there are many programming languages. But as I said in yesterday's class, why we are going with Java, particularly with Java language itself, is because that is one of the top 3 languages that is there, not just today, from past 20 years. Is this clear? Everyone? Okay. So now let's just have a very short discussion about the history of programming languages. Is this clear? History of programming languages is what we are going to discuss now. Dear students, I wouldn't discuss all the programming languages, history of each and every programming language. Few of the famous languages. Are you understanding? Few of the famous programming languages, those is what we are going to discuss now. Yes? Maybe to start with, in the year, okay. So in the year 1957, in the year 1957, there was one language that got invented. Who is that person? What is the name of that language? Every single thing I will tell you. But do you know what really is the purpose of inventing computers? Because I hope you know that computers were not present in the very initial when humans were born. It got just invented maybe some 100, 150 years ago. Are you all getting it? But do you know the main purpose of inventing the computers? Anybody? Yes? Mathematics, very good. Okay, mathematics, yes, that is the right answer. But what really is this mathematics? I'm going to tell you now. Before that, who invented computer? Can I know? Charles Babbage, very nice. Online students, who invented computer? Charles, okay. Nice, Tabsum. It's very difficult to type the complete name, so you're making it Charles. Not a problem. Okay. So Charles Babbage. Yes. Now, let me tell you the purpose of the invention of computers. Actually, what happened is during the World War, I hope everybody knows about World War. You would have studied in your social studies. So, what really the World War, when the World War was happening, they wanted to calculate the or make the calculations with respect to bomb projections. I hope you know this, right? In physics and all, you would have learned. If you want to, if you're throwing a bomb from here, what will be the trajectory rate and which point it will go and get blast? Yes, this is very important. It has to go exactly point where the enemies are there. So mainly for the purpose of bomb trajectories, they came up with what? They came up with the invention of computers, because that calculation should happen. Now, you know that we humans, when we are writing something, when we are doing some calculations manually, some mistakes will happen, right? A very little mistake in the calculation will lead to a very big difference. Are you all getting it? So if at all some machine is doing it, it will be an approximate calculation, right? Exact calculation it will make. So for that purpose, they came up with this machine, that is computer. So this computer will now understand, okay, it will make the calculation, it will give the bomb where, from which calculation it has to do, everything. This was the purpose. Similarly, after the invention, after World War, everything got finished. Now, in order to also make all the calculations easy, the formulas easy, they came up with the one programming language. Are you understanding? Because you know, mathematical calculations are very, very important. Yes, many formulas are there. If I say what is a plus b whole square, a square plus b square plus 2ab, very long. If I tell what is a plus b plus c whole square, some formula is there. If I tell what is tan theta by cos theta, something is there for that. Are you understanding? So many formula calculations are there. So why really we have to take that burden of calculations? Let us tell the computer only to do. Let our make our work easy. I told in very yesterday's class, we are such a people, we are humans are like that, that we want others to do, make our work easy. Are you all getting it? So similarly, for this purpose, there was one language that got invented in the year 1957. Are you all getting it? In the year 1957. And which was that language? Is the name of the language happens to be what was it? Fortran. What Fortran stands for is, it stands for formula translation. Are you all getting it? The word, whatever the name of the language you are saying, it stands for formula translation, which means in order to translate the formulas, all the mathematical formulas that we have, for that purpose, the programming language was invented in the year 1957. And who is the person who came up with this Fortran language is, the name of the person happens to be John Backus. What is the name? The name of the person is John Backus. And people were very happy. All the mathematicians, the scientists, they all became very happy because they have one programming language which is able to calculate all the formulas, which is able to translate all the formulas. And what is the advantage of this language? Very important. That is, this particular language was what? It was a high level language. That was most important thing for people. They don't wanted machine level language. They don't wanted assembly level language. What they wanted? They wanted a high level language, programming language they wanted. And this Fortran was a high level programming language. It's clear to everyone. People were very happy. Yes, definitely there was an advantage. The advantage is it is a high level language. And when we have an advantage, there should also be some disadvantage, right? Everyone. Yes. What do you think the disadvantage could be for this? Audio is not clearly audible. Audio is not. Okay, is it for everyone? Just give me a minute. Okay, Sheetal, it's not audible. Is it only for you? Others, can you please confirm whether the audio is clear? or not? What your video is stucking. Now it's clear. Okay, I hope it is clear. Well, let's continue then. It's clear, right? Okay. Sheetal, please check with your connection as well, your internet connection also. Okay. If everybody is facing the issue, I'll check it from my end. Okay. So let's come back to the class. We are discussing about what? We are discussing the what we are discussing? History of the programming languages. This is what we are discussing. Is it clear? So this discussion started our discussion with the year 1957. What happened in the 1957 is a person by name John Backus invented a language known as the Fortran language. What this Fortran stands for is it stands for formula translation. Mainly, this language was invented for calculating the formulas, mathematical formulas. That was the main purpose initially when computers were invented. Today, we are using computers for all purposes. But that is not how it was in the initial days. It was mainly for the purpose of mathematical calculations they invented. Technically, the advantage with respect to this language is Fortran is a language which happens to be high-level language because that was the demand of the time. In 1960s, 1950s, was the demand. They wanted high-level programming languages. Definitely, this was the high-level language. But, dear students, this also had one disadvantage. What is the disadvantage is this particular language was able to perform very less operations. It performed what? Very less operations. Means, see, just few formulas it was able to translate and come up with the invention. It was not able to perform more operations because as days passed, as days proceeded, they wanted to perform more operations. But this language could not do more operation. This became a little drawback for this Fortran language. People were using it. It was not they were not using it. They also had a disadvantage, that is, it was not doing more operations. Then what happened was in the year 1962, in the year 1962, as I told, right, as days passes, the demands will become more. Those days, computers were doing very less operation. Today, all the operation, almost all the operations computer is doing. That is why computer engineers also have increased. Are you understanding? The ratio is like that. Similarly, now the demand for one more thing happened. Because World War everything ended, people started to develop. They started to become developing countries. Now they started to have in a more organized manner. They were becoming in a more organized manner. When I say organized manner, what do you mean by that? Which means that your voice is stucking. Please wait. Online students, please give me some time. I'll check with it. Online students, how about now? Please check. Is my voice clear now? It's clear? Okay. Thank you. Um, did you all heard it clear when I explained Fortran language? Was it clear to everyone till there? If yes, I'll proceed for the next language. Okay. Well, so let's proceed further for the next language then. So then what happened is, as the days passed, people now started to become with more developing. They wanted to develop with respect to anything. It can be with respect to economy or the country, the development of the individual citizens. They have to work. All these things started. That is when the system of banking, all these things came. Okay. Now there were many businesses also that got started that time. Entrepreneurs, all these concepts started. So when these things started, they wanted to have one language mainly for the business purpose. That is when a language came up in the year 1962. And which is that language, if you ask me? The name of the language happens to be COBOL. Somewhere I think you have heard this name COBOL. What COBOL stands for is, it stands for Common Business Oriented Language. What is this full form of COBOL? It is Common Business Oriented Language. Mainly for the business perspective, they came up with this language. Are you all getting it? And who is the person who invented this language is, the name of the person happens to be Grace Hopper. Who is that? Grace Hopper is the person who came up with this COBOL. Mainly, the purpose of inventing this particular language is, it was for the purpose of business orientation. It is nothing but for the business perspective they came up with this. And what really is the advantage? The advantage is, yes, this was definitely a high level language. Along with that, what was the drawback in the previous language? It performed less operation, but this language overcame that, and it was performing what it was performing? It was performing more operations. It was able to perform more operations. Is this clear, everyone? Yes, people were now very happy with this language also, but later they still wanted more. What is that they wanted more? Or what really there was something that was lacking in this COBOL is, this COBOL language, whatever you are seeing, everyone, this language is something called, or this language was really not in a structured manner. Are you all getting it? It was not a structured programming language. To be specific, this language was unstructured programming language. It was unstructured. Ma'am, what do you mean by this unstructured programming language? Why do you tell it should be structured programming language? What is this terms? I think it's very new terms you all are hearing, right? I will give you a small example. Now, all of you come to a class, all of you will enter this class, let's assume. When you see the chairs are arranged properly, yes, so that you all come into the class and you will sit on one of the chair that you want. But think that you come into the class and you see one chair thrown there, one chair thrown there, one chair is present somewhere outside the class, one is present behind this. Will you find it proper? Will you able to be sit in the class and listen to the class? No, right? So proper format, proper arrangement is what is needed. Yes. One more example I'll give. Okay, one more example I'll give. Probably this will relate you really good. Please see this. So let me share the screen here and show something to you so that you will really get it. Please look at this image. It's not on here. Okay, the projector, please on the projector in the class. Online students, I hope the screen is visible to all of you. When you see this, how does it look like? The clothes are just dumped in the cupboard, correct? Yes, it's just dumped here. And also it is not organized. Are you all getting it? It is not organized in a proper manner. Because of this, you cannot find out the cloth that you want easily. Say suppose you want one t-shirt. It is present in this heap of clothes. Will you be able to find it out easily? No, right? It becomes very difficult for you to pick. Take out all the clothes from there, whichever t-shirt you want to pick. Agree, everyone? Yes. Similarly, if at all I have to take up this. Look at this also. If you want to pick one of the shirt or one of the t-shirt that is present in this, how much difficult for you, right? Agree, everyone? But what if in case it is properly arranged like this? You can pick easily, right? Whichever the cloth you want, within just few seconds you will find it out. Yes, maybe something like this if it is present. How neat it is, right? More than telling it as neat, you will be able to get the things in a very faster way. Yes, you can reach whatever is necessity for you, you will go and reach. When it is arranged like this, somewhere in one rack, you will keep all the pants. In one rack, you will keep all the shirts. In one rack, you will keep all the t-shirts. Like this, when you arrange, when you want, you will directly reach particular rack and you will take the cloth that you want. It is very easy, right? Are you all able to understand? Online students, are you all getting my point? Everyone? Yes. So this is what really it is with respect to having a programming language in a structured way. Did you all get the clarity why it should be structured? But this language, whatever we are discussing, it was not the structured programming language. It was unstructured programming language, COBOL. So that is why there was a problem with respect to this particular language, which is COBOL language. Now the demand started. Why really the demand started? The demand started for what type of language? It was for structured, because COBOL was unstructured. Now they wanted which type of language? Structured programming language. That is when what really happened is in the year 1967, in the year 1967, one more programming language was invented. Which is that language? If you ask me, the programming language name was BCPL. What BCPL stands for is, it stands for Basic Combined Programming Language. The name of the language is Basic Combined Programming Language. Who is the person who invented this language is, the name of the person happens to be Martin Richards. Who was the person? Martin Richards. And this programming language was a high-level language. It performed more operations. Along with that, this was a structured programming language. This was a structured programming language. But this also had a drawback. What do you think the drawback can be? Ma'am, you told you unstructured it is. We want structured. He has made it a structured programming language. Now, what is your problem? It was not my problem. It was a problem with respect to this particular language. What is that is, everything was correct with this. But dear students, this language was occupying what? More memory. What was it? More memory. Memory is the very biggest issue. You will tell, ma'am, why issue, ma'am? Take one 4 GB pen drive or 8 GB pen drive. Go and put it over. Why you're going for 8 GB, 4 GB? Go for 64 GB. Go for 128 GB. You will get memory card if you want. You will get pen drive if you want. You will get 1 TB hard disk if you want. Anything you want. But you get anything that we want, they not in those years. We are talking about which year? 1967. We are in 2024. There is so much gap. Are you understanding? There is so much gap. Those days, the biggest challenge, because I told you this computers were used to be of 18,000 square feet. One more memory, just 4 GB memory, if they want to come and attach the hard disk, the memory, they want one more big room. That is how big the memory was. One more hard disk used to be. And just 2 GB or 4 GB, that's it. Bring it and again keep it. Are you understanding? That much difficult it was. But this BCPL, whatever you are seeing, basic combined programming language, was very good with respect to other things, but it was occupying more memory. When the another language came, that is when one more language came. Which is that another language which came is the language came in the year 1969, just after 2 years. Are you all getting it? Just after 2 years, there was one more language that got invented. Maybe I will, before I tell you the name of the program, I will tell you which person is this person. Okay. The name of the person happens to be Ken Thompson. His name was Ken Thompson. He came up with one language, which was definitely a high level language, which was definitely performing more operations, which was also structured programming language and more memory or less memory. It was occupying less memory compared to BCPL. Now, this Ken Thompson is there, right? He was just sitting and thinking, okay, now I have to tell it to the world, to the outside world. I want to tell what I want to tell. My programming language, whatever the language which I have invented, is occupying less memory when it is compared to BCPL. I want to convey that to the world. How will I convey? I have to give name in such a way that from the name only they will make out, oh, this language will occupy less memory. Because I told you, memory was the biggest issue that time. He was just thinking, what name I will keep? Then he got one idea. What was that idea? What is the previous language name? It is Basic Combined Programming Language. Basic Combined Programming Language. The name itself is so big, so it is also occupying so much of memory. Okay, so what he did is, he just named his language as what? B. What was his language name? It was B. This is BCPL. Look at the name of this. It is just B. Are you understanding? With the name itself, he wanted to convey that his language is occupying less memory. Are you all able to understand? In this way, he conveyed that his language happens to be one more step ahead compared to BCPL. Are you able to think, right? Because you're also going to become programmers. You're also going to become software engineers. So our perspective should be, from the name itself, we have to convey we are being more efficient. Are you all getting it? This is how he thought and he came up with this language. Is this clear to everyone? Yes. So till here, is it clear to all the online students? Yes. Quickly respond. Yes. Yes, yes, or no, no, what it is. Always Tabsum is responding. What about others? Are you all there? Everyone, are you all there, or should I have to call out your names? Like how they do in the classes when you were small? Should I have to do that? Now they are responding. Okay, very good, very good. Great. So let's now proceed ahead then. So what really happened in the next part is all these things happened. Yes, the things were going good. And also this B language was what? A language which was occupying less memory. Now, the next thing happened. What is the next thing is, please observe everyone. This also had one drawback. Like how all the other languages had the drawback, this was also having a drawback. What was the drawback is, the drawback is now, this language is there, right? Which is B language. It was not a typed programming language. It was not a typed programming language. Ma'am, what is this typed programming language? Structured, you told, somehow we understood. Structured means there should be a proper format. When you're writing a program, the program should have proper format. Are you getting it? What is this not typed? What is this typed programming language? Let me tell that to you now. Are you all getting it? Now, all of you are filling one form, one exam form you are filling. Or maybe you're trying to fill in one form for a internship. There's one internship, or there is some workshop. I'll make it like this. There is one workshop that is going to happen in your college. You want to register for that workshop. You will have so many columns, so many fields will be there. Name, your phone number, your email, like this, all the things will be there, right? Now, when you are writing, when you try to enter your name there, if you are giving rather than name, if you give a number like 1, 2, 3 is your name, will it accept? It will not accept. It will give one message saying that please enter characters. Yes. In the phone number column, if you try to give instead of phone number, if you try to give alphabets, will it accept? No. It will tell please enter numbers only. Like this you have seen, right? Which means for every data that you are having, will have some type. Few type of data is like numbers. Few type of data is like characters. Few type of data is mixture of numbers and characters. We have many varieties of data. Are you all getting it? Yes. So every data is having some category. It is having a type. When you make it specific like that, that is when you will have the efficiency. If you have observed in those forms, there is a type for name. One type is there. It should be of character type. Phone number, there is a type. It should be of type number. So every data will have a type. So the language, this language was there, right? It was not a typed language, not a typed programming language. It did not have a proper type. When I say type, if I have to be more specific, the data type you have heard, right? You have heard about data types. It was not having the proper data types defined for it. That was the drawback with respect to this B language. And along with naming it as B, in short, when it is compared to BCPL, B is small. And also this Ken Thompson, where he was working is, he was working in Bell Labs. I hope you've heard this name. Bell Labs is an American, it's a company where it is mostly meant for this programming languages. Are you all getting it? He was working there. So in order to tell, he happens to be coming up with the invention of this language from the Bell Labs. This is one more indication telling B stands for Bell Labs. That was one more indication. Are you all getting it? Now, there was one person who was observing all these things. So what he did is, okay, now I understood. People are demanding for typed programming language, correct? So I will do one thing. What I will do is, I will now come up with one language, which is a typed language. Because if at all, something needs to become hit. When I say hit, if it has to become so popular, you have to do something unique, right? What others have not done. You have to do that. That is when what happened is, in the year 1972. In the year 1972, one person was there. The name of the person happens to be Dennis Ritchie. Somewhere you would have heard this name. Yes, there was one person by name Dennis Ritchie. He came up with one language, and definitely this was a high-level language. It performed more operations. It was a structured programming language. And also it occupied less memory. Along with this, it was a typed programming language. And now, what should he name his language? If you remember previously, you should just now bring in your brain. He wanted to indicate his languages comparatively is occupying less memory compared to BCPL. Now, Dennis Ritchie also want to indicate. What he want to indicate? He want to indicate that his programming language is one step ahead. It is even more greater than this B language because it is a typed programming language. He wanted to indicate. Now, he is also very clever. He is clever that with the name only he wanted to indicate. So since he wants to tell his programming language is one step ahead. Now, in the alphabets, what comes after A? What comes after A? B. B is one step ahead of A. What comes after B? C. C is one step ahead of B. So what he did is he named his language as what? He named his language as C language. With the name only he wanted to indicate. What he wanted to indicate? His language is one step ahead of the B language. Are you all getting it? Yes, he's clever, right? He's clever. You will see some more clever person next. Okay. I hope till here it is clear to everybody. Yes. So Dennis Ritchie is the person I think you would have heard whenever you have learned C language. Dennis Ritchie is the one who is invented the C language. Now, ma'am, okay, ma'am, till here you had so many problems, so many good things. Okay. Then now what is the problem with C language? What made C language again one step back compared to the other languages that came? So let me tell that now. I hope till here it is clear to everyone. Yes? Okay, great. Now coming to this, it was a typed language, everything is done. What can be the main drawback here? Anybody can guess? You all know this answer actually. Online students, can anybody guess what was really the drawback when it is coming to C language? Nice. Online students have told me C language founder. Lines of coding was more. Maybe the size of the programs were becoming more. Okay. I've got one answer from one of your offline friends saying that maybe the programs used to be huge. Okay. I will take that answer. Again, from online students, complex problems cannot be solved. Okay. Nice, Kalyani. Thank you for the answer. Any other answers can I expect quickly? Online students, you have to respond as I have told. What do you think was happening in this? Can you just tell me? Just a guess I want quickly. Once again, tell the question. Okay, let me repeat the question, Sukruta. I hope till previous discussion, it is clear to you. What I told, every programming languages were having some drawbacks. Similarly, what do you think was the drawback with C language for invention of another language? After this, some other languages, I will be discussing that next. Even before I discuss that next, what was the drawback with this? I'm just asking you to guess. This is my question. Like this, here it was not typed, here it was more memory, here it was unstructured, there it is less operations, right? Similarly, one thing was not there in C language. What was that one thing? It was not dynamic programming language. Very good, Bindu. Nice answer. Good. See, I'm able to get many different answers. Nice. This is what I want from all of you. Again, here offline, other guesses. One of your friend has guessed that. Other answers? Difficult to typing. Maybe the coding was difficult with respect to C language. That is what is your answer. Nice. It is not containing libraries. Kalyani, nice, nice. It's not containing libraries. I will take these answer as well. Okay. Now it's time for me to tell. Okay. What is that is? Java is what? It is object-oriented language. Do you know why exactly it is called object-oriented? If you don't know, not a problem, because I am going to tell you why it is called object-oriented programming language in detail. One complete class I'll be telling you. If anybody asks, you can explain it. But do you know? I'm asking. If you don't know, it is not a problem. NEO is very good. That's called something platform. Everything will be, that is in tomorrow's discussion, we are going to have that. Okay. Yes, coming back to this. Online. It does not. Okay, Bindu, you don't know what is object oriented. Don't worry, Bindu. I've told in yesterday's class only what is object oriented programming, what is this platform, every single thing, every single dot to dot explanation I'll be giving. Are you all getting it? If you don't know, not at all a problem. Okay, fine, Bindu. If you are not knowing, not at all a problem. You will understand it. Okay, coming back to this language, whatever you're seeing, C language was not or is not object oriented programming language. Are you all getting it? The C language is not object oriented programming language. As I told, as we are passing with the days, the demands are also increasing. Are you all getting it? That previously in this 1970s and all, in the early 1970s, there was a demand that they wanted typed programming language. Later, after a few years, the demand changed. What was the demand now? The demand is they wanted object-oriented programming language. I know you don't know anything about object-oriented programming language. I will be explaining separately one complete class what is object orientation programming. Is this clear? So this was not an object-oriented programming language. But if at all a program is object-oriented, you know what it will do? You really don't know that. It can solve almost many life problems. That is the power of object-oriented programming language. Are you understanding? There is a power in object-oriented programming language. What is that power? It is that it can solve so many real-life problems. But C language was not that. Are you all getting it? That is when what was happening is C was very hit. Let me tell you, even today C is having its importance. Don't think that it was not there. In some of the fields, in some of the particular domains, C is having its importance, but not in every domain. Are you all getting it? One person was there. He was Dennis Ritchie's friend only. He's not someone else. He was Dennis Ritchie's friend. He was sitting and watching. Whatever Dennis Ritchie is doing, he was sitting and watching. I told, right, some more clever person are also there. He is going to come now. What this Dennis Ritchie was doing, every single thing he was observing with respect to C language. He also understood Dennis Ritchie's C language was not object oriented. And that person also knew that one day demand will come for object oriented language. So this person, without knowing to Dennis Ritchie in his home after office finishing, because the next person whom I'm going to tell, he was his colleague, he was his friend. Okay, he was sitting and watching whatever he is doing. But he did not tell Dennis Ritchie that he is also inventing one programming language. Secretly he was doing. Why secretly he is doing? Because he wants the name, right? Whatever the name fame Dennis Ritchie got, even he should also get, right? So he was just sitting and waiting. What he was doing is, in the year 1985, who was that person? I will tell his name. His name was, what was his name? His name was Stu Stroop. His name was Stu Stroop. You are getting it? So Stu Stroop is the person who came up with the language. This language was high-level language. It performed more operations. It was structured programming language. It was occupying less memory. And also, it was typed programming language. Along with that, very important, this language was Object oriented programming language. This was object oriented programming language. Ma'am, is it Java? No, it is not Java. It is not Java. Now, everything is programming language, the features of it he has told. But name. What is the name? I think you all are guessing the right name. But before he gave that name, he was thinking to give other name. What Dennis Ritchie did, in order to tell his language is one step ahead of B, he named it as C. Correct? Now he was thinking, what he was thinking, now his language is again one more step ahead of the C language, right? So he thought, why don't I name the language as which? What you say? D. I will keep the name as D. For his programming language, he will keep the name as D. Are you all getting it? Online students, it is very interesting. Please observe. Okay. Now, you only think, assume that he will name the language as D. What is this person's name? What is this? Dennis Ritchie. Dennis. Name is starting with D. So everybody will think, okay, it is Dennis Ritchie's language only. He came up with C language. He makes some updation and he has invented one more new language as D language. He has sad work, he has struggled, he has hard work, he has made all the hard work, he has put in his efforts. And credit will go to Dennis Ritchie because Dennis Ritchie was so popular that time. So everybody will think D means Dennis Ritchie. It is his language. No. So he thought, no, I'll not name it as D language. Then he was thinking, what I will give. Again, he should also tell. What he should tell? His language is one step ahead of C language. So what he did is, he named his language as C++. Are you all getting it? In the programming language, plus indicates increment. Increment means it is addition. Are you all getting it? You would have done calculation. Plus is what you will use whenever you want to perform incrementation. This is one of the operations which comes. We'll be discussing that also. So plus in the programming world, it means it is incrementation. It is addition of something. So his language has so many additions compared to C language. In this way, he named his language as C++. Everyone? Yes. So this is what happened with Stroop's C++. Are you all getting this? Everyone? Online students, I hope till here it is clear to everyone. Yes? Great. Let's proceed ahead. Now, already there is an object-oriented programming language. Then came one more language. Why? This also had one drawback. Just this one simple drawback. If this was not there, even today, C++ would have been top. Are you all getting it? If at all one drawback is there, if this drawback wouldn't have been there in C++, it would have become super hit. Super hit means even today it would have been there. Do you know what was that? Anybody? Any of you online? If at all you don't know, let me tell it to you now. What really was that is, this language was definitely object-oriented programming language, as I have told you, but this language was not. This language was not a portable. It was not a portable programming language. Or in other words, we can also tell it as, it was not a platform independent programming language. Are you able to understand? Ma'am, what is this portable, ma'am? What is this platform independent? Both are same. You can tell it as not portable or not platform independent. Are you all getting it? What is this new term? Again, don't worry at all. In tomorrow's class, our complete discussion will happen on this. Are you all getting it? Now you have understood how you are structured, how you understood about type, not typed. In detail, you will understand this. But as of now, please understand what you have to understand. This language, C++, was not a portable programming language, or it was not a platform independent programming language. Is this clear to everyone? Now, one great person came. Are you all getting it? One great person came. Maybe I'll first tell you the next language came. It was in the year 1995. When was it? 1995. I think you were still not born in that time. Everyone, correct? Okay. So in this year 1995, actually, the next program which I'm telling, they started to work on this new programming language when Stroop was released. When Stroop was working, right? From then only they were working. Almost 10 years they have worked on this. Because they knew one or the other day, there will be a demand for the portable programming language. Are you all getting it? Just a minute. Platform independent means it works on all platforms like Unix, Linux. Yes, Sukrita, exactly correct. Yes, it is correct. That is what in detail I'll be telling in tomorrow's class. Okay. Exactly what is about platform, portable, how it works, every single thing in detail I'll tell. And good that you have answered it correctly. Very good, Sukrita. Okay. So coming back to this, they knew. I will tell you why initially in 1985 the demand was not there. After in the early 1990s, when in the year 1990s, when that 1990 decade came, then the demand started for portable programming language. Till then, there was no demand. Do you know the reason why? Does anybody know what happened in 1990s? OS, okay. Anybody in the online? One great thing happened in 1990s. Any of you are aware of it? Today, that is the important part of your life. Without that, none of us can be there. Without that, online students who and all are watching the class, we couldn't have done that. Very good. What was that? Offline students are guessing. Online students, please tell me your answers. Very good. Bindu, very good. Yes, what was that? It was the internet. It was the internet, the networking. It is in 1990s, the great person Tim Berners-Lee, I hope you've heard his name. He's the one who invented the internet, the networking. When the concept of internet came, now people wanted to communicate, people wanted to connect across the world. Are you understanding? Because of that internet only today, we are able to also communicate. Are you all getting it? We are able to connect. Then this portability, platform independent, demand for all of these things came. Is this clear to everyone? Yes? Now comes the thing. What was the thing? I told from 1985 only, these people also were working for this language. Okay. Who was that person is? There was one person by name. Okay. There was one person by name. I hope it is visible in the online. Yes. James Gosling. James Gosling, and along with him, there were 11 members team. There was a team of 11 members along with James Gosling. Oh, it is not visible, whatever I have written here. Okay, I'll write it here only. Next. James Gosling and 11 members team. Are you all getting it? All these people, who was the main person, who was the head of the team? James Gosling. He was leading this 11 members team. They are the one who were working on this language. Okay. Everything was there, dear students. This language had everything. It was a high level language. It performed more operations. It was structured programming language. It was occupied less memory. It was typed. It was object oriented. Along with that, see, I don't have place here. I'm not writing all of that. You all should repeat it while you are copying. Okay. The main thing was this language was portable programming language, or in other words, it was a platform independent programming language. Please don't write it in the drawback. Are you all getting it? This is the advantage. So this language was a portable programming language. Are you all getting it? Now, which language is this? Which language is this? This is the language which you are here to learn. Now, again, do you think in the very first, they named it as Java? Ma'am, don't know, ma'am. Yes, that is what is your reactions. Not a problem. I'm here to tell you that. What happened is here, dear students, initially they were thinking, what name we will give? Okay, what name we will give? I will tell you, they have worked on it for 10 years. You only think to come up with one programming language, 10 years they have worked. In those 10 years, do you think it was very easy journey? Definitely no, it was not an easy journey. They had so many difficulties, they had so many stress, they were not able to debug the errors that was coming. Many issues they were facing. Are you all getting it? But still, they worked towards it and they came up with this language, the entire 11 members team. Now, they were thinking what name we will give. Thinking, same thing they wanted to convey. That their language is what? Their language has eliminated all the drawbacks that C++ was having. Along with that, they've added some more new features also. They wanted to tell this. Then they thought, okay, I will name this language. However, the previous language is C++, right? So we will tell C++. Since we are one step ahead of this, we will tell again plus plus. And whatever the drawbacks is there, we have removed that. So we will tell minus minus. They thought of naming like this. You only think and tell me, if at all this was the name for that language, if someone asks you, any of your relatives, friends, which course you are doing, you will tell C++, minus minus, full stack development I'm doing. How awkward it is to tell that, right? Everyone. Yes. So they thought, no, this name is really not suitable. Are you all getting it? So similarly, they thought, no, this is not the suitable name. We will do one more thing. While they were working, this James Gosling and his team, when they were working in a company by name Sun Microsystems. That was the name of the company. Okay. This 11 members team was working in this Sun Microsystems company, which is located in the North America. Okay, in the North America it is located. And now they were thinking, when they started working 10 years before only, there was one small oak tree that was present outside their company. Are you getting it? Every time when they were sitting near the window and they were working, the cool breeze of oak tree, the shadow of it, they used to go and sit near the tree in the free time whenever they used to have break. So they thought, okay, how this programming language was getting developed in past 10 years when they were developing this language, same way, simultaneously that oak tree was also developing. From 10 years it was growing. So they thought our programming language, and I hope you know oak tree, it is very big also, it will tall very stand. So they wanted to tell our programming language will also stand tall like that one day, to indicate that we will name our language as oak. They thought of naming it as oak. But what happened? It was their misfortune that by the time they go and register it as oak, there was already one more company who had the registration in this name. I hope you know this rule. There cannot be, if at all a name is taken, it cannot be taken by any other company. It is a legal thing. Yes. So this also failed. Now they were thinking, okay, this also failed. What we will do now? Dear students, I told this 11 members team, right? James Gosling and his 11 members. The name of the team was, the team had one name. The name was Green Team. What was the name? The name was Green Team. They named the team as Green. You know, right? Teams will have some names. Similarly, the name was Green. Now, since we have developed, all 11 members we have developed, it is a tribute for us. It is our pride. So we will take that pride. And they decided we will tell this language as Green language. Again, it did not sound good. Are you getting it? It did not sound good for them. So they told, okay, this is also not correct, not suitable. Are you all getting it? Now, deciding name is only a difficult thing. Somehow, in 10 years, they came up with the language. The language is ready. It is ready to get released in the market. But name only they are not deciding. This was the biggest thing. Now, what was happening is, in all of these 10 years when they were working, are you all getting it? In this entire 10 years, when they were getting frustrated, because I told every day will not be same. Some days they were getting frustrated. Some days they were telling, oh, we will not do this language at all. Because many difficulties, many hurdles will be there. They've crossed all the hurdles. Now, whenever they were going through all of these hurdles, they want to get that refreshment, right? Yes, they wanted to take that short break. Now, if at all you're constantly sitting and working, you will take some 15 minutes break, 20 minutes break, so that you will go have some coffee, tea or something. You will get refreshed and you will come back and you will continue your work. Same way, whenever they wanted a break, they used to go to one coffee shop for drinking coffee. This entire 11 members team, they were going. Are you all getting it? This coffee shop, they don't know how magical it was. Whenever, as soon as they have that one sip of coffee, they used to feel so relaxed, so refreshed. It has to be like, it is to give whatever the pressure they have, whatever the tensions they have, they used to get so relaxed. Are you understanding? That much influence or that much magical the coffee was, every sip of it. Now the James Gosling and the team, they were thinking, every time whenever we thought we will not do this language, that coffee was giving us energy. More than anybody else, coffee is the one which is mainly a support for us for coming up with this language. So what we will do is, let us not give this name, that name, Green, Oak, nothing we want. Let us give that coffee name only. And whatever the coffee they were drinking, right? Coffee beans are there, right? The coffee beans. That coffee beans belong to one category called Java. Are you all getting it? It belongs to one category called Java. So because that is the one which is mainly responsible, that was the support for them. So let us remove everybody's support. We will include that as our support. And that is why finally they decided and named this language as what? As Java. Whatever you're seeing today, Java, it is the coffee bean name. And has anybody seen the logo of Java? Yes. If in case you have not seen, not a problem. I will show you. Are you all getting it? It is the shape. Not the shape, sorry. The logo of Java is a coffee cup with saucer, and there are the steam that is coming out of it. That is it. Because coffee shop, mainly to indicate, that is the logo. Since the invention of Java in 1995, today we are in 2024. Next year it is going to be 30 years. Are you all getting it? Since 30 years, this is the logo of the Java. Cup and a saucer, and there are steam that is coming out of it. I will show you. Okay, that is how the logo looks like. Are you all getting it? Did you all get know what really Java is all about? Yes? Everyone? Yes. So this is the language which we are going to learn, discuss, and maybe explore for next 100 days. Are you all getting it? Each and every feature of it, as I told, how it is platform independent, how it is portable, and lot more whatever the features are there, every single thing in detail we are going to discuss next. So I hope you understood about what really the evolutions happened with respect to the programming languages. Is this clear to everyone? Yes. And also, a few things I want to tell or discuss with you about Java. As I told, it was invented by whom? It was invented by the company Sun Microsystems, James Gosling and his team. So James Gosling is the one whom we tell as father of Java. Who is the father of Java? James Gosling. Okay. When they came up, it has been in the year 1995. Okay. During that time, in Sun Microsystems, they were doing it. But later, in the year 2010, Sun Microsystem was acquired by one company. Which company? Oracle company. All of you have heard about Oracle company? Everyone have heard? Yes? If in case you have not heard, it is one of the biggest MNC company in the world, which is Oracle company. Okay? Oracle company acquired Sun Microsystem in the year 2010. So from 2010 till today, whose owner, whose product is Java? It is product of Oracle. Are you all getting it? When it was invented, it was a product of Sun Microsystem. When Sun Microsystem was acquired by Oracle, it became product of Oracle. Okay, so whose product is Java today? It is Oracle's product. Now, when you have to download Java, you will download it from Oracle's website only. How to download, how to install, everything I will be telling you. But it is a product of Oracle. Who is the owner of Java programming language? It is Oracle. Is this clear? Is it not interesting? Was it not interesting, everyone? Yes. So now someone asks you to speak about programming language. I think you have few words to speak about it. Everyone agree? Yes. Online students? Nice. So this is how interesting each and every class is going to be. I promise you on that. Every single thing in detail I'll be telling you like this. Is this clear? So now all of you should please open your notebooks and tell history of programming language and copy all of this thing. I'll give you enough time. Please make a note of this. And when you're copying about Java, I hope you should tell all of these things and tell this is the advantage of it. This doesn't have any disadvantage. Please don't write this in the disadvantage column. Is it clear? Okay. So I'll give you time, enough time. Everyone, online students and offline students, both of you please copy this, whatever is there on the board. And then we'll proceed for the next topic. There are many, many interesting topics that we are going to discuss next. So each and everything in detail. Maybe till now, if someone asks you something apart from the book, I think you were not able to answer. But I will tell you for sure, from now on, if someone asks you apart from the technology, why it came, how it will work, every single thing you will be able to explain. That is how I will make you get prepared. Is this clear? Yes? Everyone? How is the Josh? How is the Josh? Online students, how is the Josh? It is very low, correct? Online. Hi, ma'am. Nice. Oh, this is what I want. Very nice. Good. Okay, please make a note of it. We'll continue next. Okay, I hope all of you have completed this here in the offline also. Everyone have completed? Okay. So what we are going to discuss next? Any idea about it? Or what will be our next discussion? I hope for the online students I'm clear. My voice is audible, right? Online students? Online students, am I audible? Yes. Okay, great. Yes, for you. Let's say you want to buy a mobile phone. One mobile phone, some like I'll just take an example, some Samsung phone you are buying, Samsung S23 or any of that. One phone is there, 8 GB RAM, 128 GB storage. Another phone is there, 128 GB storage, but RAM is 12 GB. Which one will you prefer? Huh? 12 GB RAM phone, huh? Yes? Okay. Right? More memory. Okay. See, memory is storage. I told no 128 GB storage, 128 GB storage. But RAM is more. Process. What process? Online students. This question is to all of you as well, to all the online students as well. Two phones. One is like you have you're buying a phone. Two options are there. One phone is with 8 GB RAM, but 128 GB storage. The same phone, 128 GB storage only, but instead of 8 GB RAM, you have 12 GB RAM. Which one will you prefer? 8 GB RAM or 12 GB RAM? It is not audible. It's audible. 12 GB. Okay. It's 12 GB RAM. Yes. If I ask why you prefer 12 GB RAM, I want the answer to this. Why 12 GB RAM? It is faster in execution, no? Speed. You will take the same answer? Any different answer I'm going to get? Everyone, even the online students, see your offline friends, they are telling me that because it's faster. That is why we will go for 12 GB when it is compared to 8 GB RAM. What are your answers in the online? Yeah? Tell me. Everyone tell me. RAM more. That's it. No other answers, huh? Okay. Well, so why is it? Why really this question in particular I asked you? You will get the clarity about it in the next class. Is this clear? It is because it's already 1 o'clock. If I start with the next topic, it will take more than half an hour for me. I don't want to take your lunch time as well. I know you all would be hungry by now. So that is the reason. I'll just keep the class till here for today. This question, why I asked, you will get the clarity in the tomorrow's class. So if you want to know the clarity or what really it is for it, please come in the next class. We'll have the discussion. Is this clear? So we'll keep the class till here for today, my dear students, and let's all meet in the tomorrow's class. Thank you for it. And as I told, the 5 days of demo is what we are having. So today is the second day, and this demo class is going to happen till Saturday. Okay, we will have 5 days class in a week in the very initial. Since we started on Tuesday, it will be there till Saturday. And the classes will be Monday to Friday from the next week. This goes like this. And one more important thing, I hope all of you know about the course fees also. It is going to be 29,999 for the offline students. It's 26,999 for the online students. And if in case you book your seats in this demo days itself, on or before Saturday, you will get 2,000 rupees extra discount. Okay, so for any further information, you can reach out to us anytime. Is this clear? Yes? Okay, so we'll keep the class till here for today and let's all meet in the next class. And any doubts are there, you can please stay back and get your doubts clarified. Is this clear? So thank you and let's meet in the next class. Thank you, all the online students. Thank you. So if you have any doubts, you can put your messages in the chat box. I'll be there here. If not, you can leave the meeting and let's get connected tomorrow. Okay.